chatty woman on the plane seat next to you, the annoying children kicking your seat from behind constantly. What do you do? Today we're talking Jetiquette with the people who call themselves the Savvy Stews, Bobby Laurie and Galen David. Welcome, both of you.
Thanks.
And you've seen it and you've heard it, everything. You call yourselves the Savvy Stews. 30 years total, I think you have in the business.
We do.
And you've seen everything happen, right?
More than you want to know.
Yeah, we're going to show some scenarios, and then we'll come back and we'll have you tell us how we think they should be handled. Here's the first scenario.
Hi! Oh my gosh, what's your name?
Hi, Stephanie.
Oh my gosh, Stephanie, my name's Leslie. This is my first time flying.
Nice to
I'm
meet
a little
you.
bit scared. I mean, what do you think I should expect? I mean, have you been on planes
think
before?
you'll be
Have you been on? I mean, what do you think?
How am I going to deal with these two this entire flight?
Okay, we got the guy with the obvious virus on one side, and we got Miss Chatty Cakes on the other side. How do you deal with them?
You know what, when you've got that situation, you need to ask them kind of to either sit together if they're a couple. A lot of times they're a couple and they want you sitting in them. Exactly, and it's like, you know what, I'm going to let you guys sit together and pretty much put it like that. But when it comes to that chattiness, you know what I say? The best thing is to put your earphones on.
Put in your headphones, turn up your music.
And let them know that you've got to look, you're going to read something, you want to put your headphones on, and just really give them some cues that you'd kind of like a little privacy, even if it's just closing your eyes and just dozing off a little bit.
It doesn't always work, because some people just keep doing it over you anyway. You start to close your eyes and they just keep on talking.
But there's also nothing wrong with being direct, is there? And saying, hey, look, I really appreciate talking and everything, but I really have to study something or think about something on the way to this next.
Or I really need to take a nap. Like, I really need to rest on this flight.
And you do that very well, by the way.
What's that?
You did that very well.
I did that very politely.
Yes,
and
very politely.
You got to be direct and just say, leave me alone.
Exactly.
Now, how about the nose blower?
Well, you know, there are a couple things you can do. I mean, I always travel with hand sanitizer. I mean, because airplanes are dirty. They're not cleaned all the time after every single flight. They're only cleaned once a night. And people like that, you know, I would ask the flight attendant if there's another seat you can move to if you really are upset by sitting next to someone who's blowing their nose. I mean, there's really not much you could do.
I guess you can't pull that oxygen mask down, can you?
You can't, but you know what? Keep that airflow going around you.
Keep the flow going.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
This is what I would do. You look over at that guy and you go, cover your mouth.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, definitely ask
You
for
know
that.
what? You know, it's so funny. You know, we think it's a given that they're covering their mouth, but when they're not, absolutely, let them know that you'd appreciate it if they do that.
And possibly holding your fist up like this, Chrissy, at the same time. Cover
Well, closing
your
one
mouth.
eye for the other woman. You're like going at them.
Thanks, Chrissy. Okay, here's the second scenario.
This flight is going to be a long one, huh? Seriously? Oh, wow. Do I have to deal with these two lovebirds the entire flight?
Answer is probably yes.
Yes,
what do you folks say?
Well, were you not enjoying the show?
I mean, just having those lovebirds next to you, and then the blanket comes up. I don't know.
Just ask them to stop. I mean, just like I think what I say the norm would be, what, 1 to 2 seconds of PDA on an airplane?
Absolutely. That's really all that's acceptable in public, and especially on an airplane. You've got children on there. You have nuns on there. I mean, you just never know. So, you know, and then if you have to let a flight attendant know about it when you get up to go to the restroom, just to mention it to a flight attendant, you might want to hand it off to the crew.
Right. Yeah.
Because the last thing you want is to get into an in-flight war.
Were you trained how to handle that, though? Like, if somebody came back to you and said, look, those folks are getting it on back there in the seats next to me.
Honestly not, but I have handled a situation that was a little worse than that, and I'm not even going to say what it was, but you know, and I watched it.
Now I want to
know.
Is it sweeps right now?
We're in ratings. Go ahead, tell it. No, go ahead.
They were, you know, doing their PDA, and then I went over to them after just a couple seconds. I was like, okay, if you know, that's enough. And they were like, okay, we're sorry. And then they put the blanket on, and I was like, no, that is enough.
You're not listening to me.
Right.
And of course, the rest of the people, yes, Chrissy?
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. That's the recommendation. Just make a huge scene. Stop. stop it right now.
Can
What
you
are you
fly with
doing?
me all the time?
What?
Because you can say that and we can't.
Why
So
not?
can you just come fly with us all the time?
I would
scary,
love to.
though,
I'll
because
be
I
your
thought she was gonna
enforcer.
say join.
Please, let me. I would love that.
You can just wear my wings. They're,
know
they're
what?
yours.
Why couldn't you just say stop? Stop it right now. What is wrong with you? Like my grandmother.
You can. I mean,
Take off
you
your
can.
flip flop and start.
Okay,
oh,
don't
Yes,
do that.
That scared me though when you came around for that comment because I thought you were going to say join in, and I was, yeah, absolutely no. We don't want to do that. Don't want to do that.
What other horror stories, and there's probably a dozen of them that each of you knows from different years you've been flying, you've had a lot of time up there.
Well, the one that I've been encountering a lot lately on transcon flights is folks doing galley yoga. So the flight
Galley
attendants.
yoga.
Yeah, the flight attendants
Very
sit.
popular.
They all sit in the back. That's where our jump seats are. And folks come back there to stretch on the longer flights, and they don't realize that they're stretching in front of you while you're sitting there eating your lunch. So you're sitting here eating a sandwich, and someone's doing the downward dog right in front of you.
They're
and
exhibitionists.
And you're kind of like, can you move over there, please?
And they do that.
They
And
do that, yeah, and they're want to impress everyone with their flexibility. So.
Thank you. Bobby and Galen, the Savvy Stews. Flying time is coming up. Summertime's coming. You're all going to hit these things. Don't forget, you have to be direct or ask the flight attendant to intervene because you can somehow get out of all this. All righty. You can click the Scene On tab on fox5sandiego.com if you want some more information. Over to Erica now.
All right.